Hello and welcome to your English news broadcast live on ERi-TV. It's exactly 10:30 p.m. on Eritrea's local time from our headquarters at Asmara with your domestic and international news in brief and live. I'm Zahra Badouri, but first we'll begin with your major headlines for this broadcast. Vocational training to youth in Barantu as your primary domestic. Material support to disadvantaged families and coverage of community-based environmental sanitation program. On your international, Turkey drops objects to Finland and Sweden, joint NATO removing major hurdle. Finally, Japan swelters in worst heat wave ever recorded. Welcome to your domestic in brief. Segan Construction Company provided 4-month theoretical and practical training on construction to 63 youth at Halai Training Center. The training program that was organized in cooperation with the Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare, Gashbarka Region Administration and Segan Construction Company was attended by youth from the subzones of Barantu and Chambuco, as well as from Agmait administrative area, and included metal and woodwork, building, as well as other related to construction courses. The trainees were provided theoretical training for 3 months and 1 month practical training at branches of the company in Tersane, Bisha, Barantu, and the capital Asmara, indicating that the training was part of the human resources development effort in the country. Mrs. Lu'ul Gabrab, Minister of Labor and Social Welfare, called on the trainees to apply the training they were provided in improving their livelihoods and become exemplary. Ambassador Mahmoud Ali Hurui, Governor of Gashbarka Region, on his part, congratulating the trainees, called for playing due part in the nation-building process. Mr. Tasfai Goitoom, on his behalf, manager of Segan Construction Company, indicated that the objective of the training was to enable the youth play due part in the implementation of the set-out development programs in their area. The trainees, on their part, commanding the training opportunity they were provided with, expressed conviction to contribute to their part in the development program in their place of assessments. The Ministry of Labor and Social Welfare branch in Golij subzone extended material support to 212 disadvantaged families within the subzone. Mr. Daniel Takhaste, representative of the office, said that the card support was extended to the disadvantaged families and is expected to have significant contribution in improving the livelihoods of the citizens. Mr. Daniel went on to say that 3 disadvantaged families were also rehabilitated worth small kiosks worth 45,000 nakfa, and called on the beneficiaries to work hard with the view to develop their activities to higher level. Commanding for the opportunity they were provided, the beneficiary families called on concerned bodies to make a continuous follow-up on these progresses. On your final domestic, as part of the effort to control the prevalence of communicable diseases due to lack of sanitation, so far 82 villages in Tsarona subzone have implemented community-based environmental sanitation programs. Mr. Adhanom Mawal, head of the community health at the health center in the subzone, said that the achievement registered was the result of the increased awareness of the public on health issues, and called on the area administrators and village coordinators to encourage the remaining villages to implement the program, noting that ensuring the health of the society is not only the responsibility of the government, but Mr. Takhla'ab Desta, secretary of the PFDJ in the subzone, called on the public to strengthen participation in the effort. According to reports, 96 villages in Tsarona subzone have implemented the community-based environmental sanitation program, and the remaining 14 villages are expected to implement the program in the near future. Dear viewers, we'll be back with your international news. Do stay with us for more of your reports. And on your reports on the global line, President Sauli Niinisto said on Tuesday that Turkey has agreed to support Finland and Sweden's NATO membership bid, removing a major hurdle to the two countries joined the alliance. Niinisto said in a statement that a joint memorandum on the matter of signed by Turkey, Finland and Sweden on Tuesday in Madrid ahead of what is shaped up to be a critical summit. The joint memorandum underscored the commitment of Finland, Sweden and Turkey in quotation to extend their full support against threats to each other's security, Niinisto said. He added that the concrete steps of the accession to NATO will be agreed by the NATO allies during the next 2 days, but the discussion is now imminent. U.S. and European officials had been eyeing the summit for potential progress in moving Finland and Sweden's applicants forward to join NATO. The two nations formally applied to be part of the security alliance in May, propelled by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. But Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan had said repeatedly that Turkey wouldn't support the bids, accusing the two countries of harboring member of the separatist militant Kurdistan's Work Party, also known as the PKK, which Turkey views as a terrorist organization. Stoltenberg said, speaking to journalists in Madrid following the signing, NATO chief Jens Stoltenberg said that he is confident that Finland and Sweden will be able to successfully join NATO after the signing of the trilateral memorandum of understanding. On your final report, Japan is sweltering under the hottest day yet of its worst heat wave since records began in the year 1875. The blistering heat has drawn official warnings of a looming power shortage and led to calls for people to conserve energy where possible. But the government is still advising people to use air conditioning to avoid heat strokes, and cases of hospitalization rise within the heat. Weather officials warn the heat is likely to continue in the coming days, as reports say. Heat waves, however, have become more frequent, more intense, and last longer because of human-induced climate change. The world has already warmed by about 1.1 degrees Celsius since the industrial era began, and temperatures will keep rising unless governments around the world make step cuts to emission. Tokyo charted temperatures over 35 degrees on Wednesday, however, for a fifth straight day, marking the worst documented streak of hot weather in June since records started recording in 1875. Meanwhile, the city of Isazaki, northwest of the capital, saw a record of 40.2 degrees Celsius, the highest temperature ever recorded in June for Japan. Dear viewers, that is all for now with your domestic and international news in brief. Until we are back with some more news, stay and enjoy the rest of our programs. But until then, these were your major headlines in review. Vocational training to youth in Barantu as your primary domestic. Material support to disadvantaged families and coverage of community-based environmental and sanitation program. And on your global line, Turkey drops objectives to Finland and Sweden join NATO. And Japan swelters in worst heat wave ever recorded in the country. We'll leave you with the rest of our programs. Thanks for watching once more, and have a nice one.